Good morning, dear students. Welcome you all. Today we will start the last chapter of supplementary reader. The chapter name is An Alien Hand. In this chapter, we will read about the character Tillu and his father and other members who were living in artificial condition on the planet. So let us come on the chapter and try to know about the chapter in detail. Before you read, have you heard of the Viking mission to Mars? The National Aeronautics and Space Administration NASA Viking mission to Mars was composed of two spacecraft, Viking 1 and Viking 2, each consisting of an orbiter and a lander. The primary objectives were to obtain images and samples of Martian surface and soil and search for any possible signs of life. Viking 1 was launched on 20 August 1975 and arrived at Mars on 19 June 1976. Viking 2 was launched on 9 September 1975 and entered Mars orbit on 7th August 1976. Besides taking photographs and collecting other data on the Martian surface, the two landers conducted 3 biology experiments to look for possible signs of life. As of now, there is no clear evidence of the presence of living microorganisms in the soil near the landing sites. Now read the story. In this story, we will read about these two spacecraft. They landed on Martian surface. So come on the chapter. Tillu, how often have you been told not to go that way? But why does daddy go there every day? Tillu is the character, you know that. So how often have you told not to go that way? Tillu's mother said to him, but why does daddy go there every day? Because that is his job, Tillu. That way was an underground passage. Tillu's father went every day for work along that passage, and every day he came back from that direction. What lay at the end of that forbidden route, not only Tillu, but a great majority of the community would have liked to know. We know that there was an underground passageway, and Tillu's father went every day for work along that passage. Understand? And every day he came from that direction. And what lay at the end of that forbidden route, and what was lay on that forbidden means that no one was allowed to go there. So this was forbidden route. Not only Tillu, but a great majority of the community would have liked to know. Everyone wanted to know about the route, about the passage. Tillu's father was one of the select few permitted to go that way. The above conversation invariably took place between Tillu and his mother whenever he insisted on following his father. And you know that a great majority, a number of people wanted to know about the passage, and Tillu's father, one of the few permitted member to go that way. Understand? And Tillu with his mother also conversed invariably means always he conversed on the topic that he would follow his father. He insisted, he forced to his mother to go for that passage. Today, however, was different. Tillu's father was enjoying a siesta at home, and Tillu managed to get hold of his security card. What had happened on that day? That was a different day, and Tilu father was enjoying a siesta. Siesta means afternoon nap, short nap. He was sleeping short nap during that time, during the time of afternoon at home, and Tilu on that time managed to get hold of his security card. He got the security card of his father by any way, and afterward then evading, escaping from his watchful mother's eye, Tilu made his way to the forbidden passage, and he escaped by evading, by escaping from his mother. He went to the forbidden passage. Afterward, a metal door barred his entry, but Tilu had watched his father slip the magic card into a slot. He did the same, and the door opened noiselessly. A well-lit passage seems to beckon him. Afterward, when Tilu reached there, a metal door barred his entry. A metal door, barred means checked, stopped his entry. Understand? So what had happened? But Tilu had seen his father slip the magic card into the slot, into the opening slot. So he did the same thing, and the door opened noiselessly without any noise, and a well-lit passage, and he got a well-lit passage seemed to beckon, and he felt that the passage was calling him. Beckon means call with gesture. He felt that the passage was calling him, and there was a light lit. Snatching the card which had come out of another slot in the wall, Tilu started his march along a gentle upward slope for the passage led from the underground habitat to the surface of the planet. Snatching means taking. He took the card forcibly which had come from another slot in the wall. Tilu started his march, he started his journey, he started to go forward along a gentle upward slope. He was going to gentle upward slope, and for the passage led from the underground habitat, because he was coming from underground habitat where people were living in underground condition, and he was going upward towards the passage, towards the planet, surface of the planet habitat. So he came from the underground condition habitat to the surface of the planet, and he was going upward. Tilu looked forward to seeing the sun if it was daytime, or the stars if it was a night, about which he had heard and read so much. So Tilu wanted to see what? Tilu looked forward. He thought that he would see the sun if there will be day, and he would see the moon, the stars. There will be he would see the stars if there will be night. Understand? About which he had heard earlier. But alas, that was not to be. But he did not get the chance. Tilu had underestimated the security arrangement. So Tilu had underestimated. Underestimated means that he did not judge properly about the security arrangement, and the invisible mechanical devices had already detected and photographed the small intruder, sent his picture to the Central Bureau where it was thoroughly checked, and before he had advanced 10 paces, a strong hand fell heavily on his shoulder. So we know that Tilu was unaware. He did not know that anyone was watching him. He did not know that anyone was watching him. Invisible mechanical devices had already detected means identified and photographed the small intruder. Intruder means one who enters without permission. One who enters without permission. So he was already detected by mechanical devices, and the and his pictures to the and his pictures photographed the small intruder, and his pictures sent to the central bureau where it was thoroughly checked, and afterward he had advanced afterward he walked 10 paces. Afterward he was caught when before he had advanced 10 paces a strong hand fell heavily on his shoulder. When he walked 10 paces, a strong hand came on his shoulder. Gently but firmly he was escorted by the security staff back home to an anxious and angry mother. And on that time the hand was gentle but firmly, stiffly, hardly. He was escorted. Escorted means taken or led by the security staff back home to an anxious and angry mother. And he came to his home where his mother was anxious, worried, and she was angry because he was absent from that place. While he was being scolded, he received help from an unexpected quarter. On that time, when he reached home, he was scolded, rebuked by his mother, but he received help from an unexpected quarter. Unexpected quarter means he was not hoping that he would get help. Understand? On that time he would get help from unexpected quarter, unexpected way. Let me explain to him, darling, said his father, who had just got up. If he is properly briefed, he will not do such a thing again. He started to explain. And his father told that, let me explain to him, darling. His father told to his mother, let me explain to him, darling, said his father, who had just got up. And if he is properly briefed, if he is properly explained, he will not do such a thing again. Understand? He started to explain. Tell about. Listen, Tilu, I work on a surface where an ordinary person can't survive because the air is too thin to breathe and where the temperature is so low that you would freeze to death. He said to Tilu about the condition of the planet. He said that, Tilu, listen Tilu, I work on a surface where an ordinary person can't survive because the air is too thin to breathe and where the temperature is so low that you would freeze to death. But daddy, how do you manage to survive? Tilu asked the question, how do you manage to survive on this harsh condition, difficult condition? Because I go well equipped in a special suit with a reservoir of oxygen. His father replied that because Tilu, I go there well equipped. Well equipped means with complete instruments, complete because he said that he went there with complete arrangements, equipped in a special suit, and he said that he goes there in a special suit and with a reservoir of oxygen, with a tank of oxygen. I can keep warm and my boots are specially designed to make it easy for me to walk on the surface. And he said that I can keep my body warm, my boots are specially designed to make it easy for me to walk on the surface. Understand? What's more, I have been trained to survive and work on the surface. And he said that I have been trained to cope, to deal with such hard condition. There was a time when our forefathers lived on the surface quite naturally And afterward, Tilu's father said that there was a time when their forefathers, ancestors were living on the planet, on the surface of the planet naturally, without any artificial condition. Indeed, they did so for millions of years. But it was a time, millions of years, before millions of years. But times changed. The very sun which had provided us with sustenance turned hostile. And he said that the very sun which had provided in the earlier time, people, sustenance means support, sustenance means capacity to live, support, we can say that, support, turned hostile means unfriendly, and it changed only slightly, but the change was sufficient to upset the balance of nature on this planet. Change was slight, but the change, whatever the changes had been on that time was slight, but that change was sufficient to upset the balance of nature of this planet. And what had happened? First the birds became extinct. Extinct means extinguished, dead. The animals followed. Afterward, animals. The fish could not bear it any more because of harsh climate, because of scorching heat, too much heat, because sun became hostile, unfriendly. We managed to survive only because of our superior technology, but we were forced to live underground under artificial conditions. But Tilu's father said that we are living here in artificial condition and because of our superior technology. Thanks to solar energy, we can generate sufficient power to make our life comfortable. And he said that thanks for solar energy, because of solar energy, they get light. And their life, they get light, they get sufficient power to make their life comfortable. But the machines which make this possible must always be in good condition. But the machines which are used, that machines would be in good condition. Understand? Some of them are on the surface. I belong to the team whose responsibility is to keep watch on them and to service them. He said that machines should be in proper condition, working condition, and some of them are on the surface, and on the surface, the machines are on the surface. I belong to the team whose responsibility is to keep watch on them and to service them. Daddy, can I join the team when I grow up? Of course, if you want to, said his father, you can join if you will be grown up. But for that you must be a good boy and do as your parents tell you. But you have to obey your parents. His mother had as usual the last word. So afterward, what had happened? Afterward, we will read. Next day, when Tilu's father went to work, he found the control room full of excitement. People were crowded round the big TV screen. It showed a dot in an otherwise clear background. What had happened next day? When Tilu's father went to work, he found the control room was full of excitement and people were crowded round the big TV screen. They were crowded near the TV screen, and it showed, and they were watching a dot, a black dot in an otherwise clear background on the TV screen they were getting. It is not a star, for it is changing its position. And they were talking, it is not a star, for it is changing its position. Our computer has given a trajectory for this thing. It is heading towards us. And on that time, the supervisor who was there of the last shift explained, he said that it is not a star because it is changing its position, and he said that our computer has given a trajectory, a path. Trajectory means the path of the object, understand, which were moving in the air. So our computer has given a trajectory for this thing, it is heading towards us, and because of the help of computer, the supervisor said that the thing given a trajectory for this thing, and this thing is heading towards us, towards the planets. The supervisor explained. A spacecraft, Tilu's father asked, but by now he was joined by his teammates on the new shift. Tilu's father put a question, are you maybe a spacecraft? And now that time he joined his teammates in a new shift. So we think, but it needs watching. So we think, but it needs watching. We must watch. What is this? A spacecraft where from the solar system was a spacecraft where from the solar system was not known to have any life anywhere else except on their planet. Tilu fathers recalled the ancient days recorded in the archives at the Central Bureau when their ancestors had well developed space program and had searched the solar system with manned and unmanned spacecraft and found that they were indeed alone. A spacecraft, the question came, where from the solar system was known, the solar system was not known to have any life anywhere else except on their planet. Tilu's father, this is the view of Tilu's father. Tilu's father recalled, memorized, remembered the ancient days recorded in the archives. Archives is a place where records are kept at the Central Bureau. So Tilu's father recalled, remembered the ancient days, about the ancient days recorded in the archives at the Central Bureau when their ancestors had a well developed space program and had searched the solar system with manned and unmanned spacecraft and found that they were indeed alone. So Tilu's father said that he read in archives in Central Bureau, and there it has been mentioned that their ancestor forefathers had a well developed space program in the olden time, and they had searched the solar system with manned and unmanned spacecraft and found that they were indeed alone, and they found that they were indeed alone in the solar system. Understand? Now in days of energy shortage and underground life, they had no space program. They could only watch impotently from their vantage point who were these strangers. And Tilu's father said that now in days of energy shortage, during that time when there was no energy shortage and underground life, people were living on that time in underground life. They had no space program. They also had no space program. They could only watch, during that time only they could watch impotently from their vantage point, from their advantageous point, who were these strangers. So in olden days people were unable, they could only see the condition impotently. Understand? Now in these days, in the days of energy shortage and underground life, the conference room in the Central Bureau was so quiet that an outsider would have. So we read that this is the view of Tilu's father, because in the days of energy shortage and underground life, they had no space program, so they could only watch impotently from their vantage point, who were these strangers. The conference room in the Central Bureau was so quiet that an outsider would have thought it was empty. And on that time, the conference room in the Central Bureau was so quiet that an outsider would have thought it was empty. Far from it. It was full to capacity, but the members of the Central Committee were unusually quiet. And it was, that the conference room was full of capacity, but the members were too quiet, but the members of the Central Committee were unusually quiet. They were very quiet, and they knew that the president was going to make a momentous announcement. They were quiet because they knew that the president was going to make a momentous means important announcement. So what was the announcement? Colleagues, I will give you the report as I have it. While I speak, there may be a change in the situation. The president paused to get his papers in order and then continued. Two spacecraft are approaching us. So afterward, the announcement came from the side of president. Colleagues, I will give you the report as I have it. While I speak, there may be a change in the situation. What is change in the situation? The president paused, stopped to get his papers. To get his papers in order and then continued. And he continued, two spacecraft are approaching us. One is in fact orbiting our planet, while the other is still far away. President said that two spacecraft are coming towards their planet. One is orbiting, taking ground, and one is far away, still far away. We guess that they are coming from our neighboring planet. How should we react? And president said that he thinks that they are coming from our neighboring planet. How should we react? Number one, your views please. President asked the views, how should we react? How should we react? Number one, your views please. Means that president wanted to know about the views of number one scientist. Number one was in charge of defense, and who was number one? Number one was in charge of defense. He was known for his courage and wisdom. Number one was known for his courage and wisdom. Sir, if we wish, we can totally destroy these spacecraft from our missiles, but that would not make us any wiser. We don't have the capacity to render these craft operational in space, but should they land, we can render them ineffective anytime we choose. Number one, who was in charge of defense, he said that he was known for his wisdom. He said that, sir, we wish we can totally, this is my wish, that we wish we can totally destroy these spacecraft with our missiles. But that would not make us any wiser. But it will be not wiser. We don't have the capacity, and we don't have the capacity to deliver these craft unoperational in space. We have no power, we have no capacity, we have not the capacity to make the spacecraft ineffective in space. But should they land, when they would land, we can render them, we can make them ineffective anytime we choose. He said that we can make them ineffective when they would come on the surface of the planet. Understand? Our reports say that they don't contain living beings, they only have an instrument. And he said that according to the reports, they contain only they don't contain any living being, they only have instruments. Number two, your opinion please, president said. The president asked the scientist on the committee, and who was the scientist on the committee? Number two, I recommend non-interference and passive observation, since we don't know the power of the senders of these spacecraft, and we are still in the dark about their intentions. it is wise not to reveal our existence. Afterward, number second said that I recommend, according to my opinion, he said, non-interference. Non-interference means the act of interrupting, means that we should not interrupt. Non-interference, non-interruption, understand? And he said that we should watch these spacecraft passively, with passive observation, since we don't know the power of the sender, because we don't know the power of the senders of these spacecraft, and we are still in the dark about their intention, and we don't know about their intention, about their notion, about their intention. So it will be wise, it is wise not to reveal, not to open, not to show our existence, that we are living here on the planet. If we destroy these spaceships or render them ineffective, he said that if we would make them ineffective, we might reveal our existence, we will show our existence, that we are living here. The president looked at number 3, a social scientist. He rarely agreed with number 2, but this was one of those rare occasions when he did. We know that the president wanted to know about the views of number 3rd, and number 3rd was number 3, a social scientist, and he seldomly agreed with number 2, but this time in rare occasions, and this rare occasion he was agreed with him, passive observation, non-interference, understand? So I agree with number 2, sir. In fact, I will go so far as to say that we should keep our surface activities to the minimum, thus creating the impression that there is no life on this planet. He said that, number 3 said that we should be here silent, in active mode. We must decrease our activities, minimum our activities, surface activities, and thus creating the impression that there is no life on the planet. Fortunately, luckily, our surface conditions do give that impression, and he said that luckily our surface condition gives our surface conditions give that impression that no one knows that we live here. Understand? Before the president could speak, his personal telephone rang. He lifted the receiver and listened quietly for a minute. And on that time, the president telephone rang. Before president could speak, his personal telephone rang, and he lifted the receiver and listened quietly for a minute. Colleagues, he announced, the first spacecraft had landed. And on that time, he said that, colleagues, the first spacecraft had landed. Understand? So the next part of the chapter is remained, and we will read it in the next video. Thanks for watching the video.